What up, squad? Welcome back to another episode of Group. Y'all ready for this? All right, man. I missed y'all. I only been away for 7 days, but for those of you that don't know and was wondering, like, yo, where's all the content, man? Well, so I was put on timeout for 7 days because I spoke about number one rule. Go big. So they put me on timeout. You know what I mean? So I can't be mad. I can't be upset. I get a lot of people like, oh man, that's just like, and listen, in reality, I get where you're coming from, 100. But on the same token, I have to say, you know what? I'm given this opportunity to have this platform, where it wouldn't exist otherwise. I'd have to go through the networks to try to get something like this, and these platforms have let people that networks completely wouldn't even allow on in the front door, in front of the front door. Never mind that, they'd have security escort them out. It gives us a chance to say, hey, we bring our content to the source and you guys judge. So that's why I love these type of platforms and I love YouTube for it. So I can't sit there and bash it because without them, there would be no grouped, there would be no artist or MC, there wouldn't be any of that. And yes, they do have, some strict rules on certain things, and those are their rules. It's kind of like how I tell my children, yes, it's your room, but it's my house. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it is. So I got to look at it the same way and give them the same respect I expect my children. I'm not saying I'm their children, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to give an analogy here, all right? So let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to thumbs up. Okay, so now, that being said, y'all ready for this reaction video? All right, let's go. So here we have, you guys tell me, put it in the comments what you guys think. We have a trans female here, and she says, once I get bottom surgery, which is usual with trans female. A lot of times what they'll do is, they'll get everything else done, all the cosmetics, and then the bottom surgery either gets saved for last or not at all. I mean, it's a complicated surgery, as you can imagine. And I'm pretty sure a very painful one. From what I heard, I mean, go look it up. You know what I'm saying? It gets split down in half like a banana and tucked in. I know that sounded graphic, but hey, which seems pretty painful. Sorry for being so graphic, but that's basically what it is in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, you can imagine. But what she's trying to say is, once I get bottom surgery, I'm never bringing up the fact I'm trans ever again. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's okay? And is this going a little too far? Is for some reason, equality's not enough for a lot of, I think it's the younger ones. All of this woke stuff is setting the movement back. Why is it that I have to, at a certain age, I tell my kids Santa Claus no longer exists. I said, why is it that I have to continue to act like Santa Claus exists just to make, you know what I'm saying, to accommodate someone's feelings or whatever? When do grown adults want you to alter factual reality to please them? And when does that become okay that we take away the tangible for the imaginable? You get what I'm saying? So like, you want me to take away what's here, what's real, for what you're imagining or feeling? Or, I mean, hey, listen, there's a lot of things I feel that, that bother me, that I don't like, but I deal with it. It's life. That's part of life. Like, There's no world that everybody is going to be happy in. There's no world where nobody's going to offend you. Here's the thing is I realize no matter what, this woke crowd will find something to be offended about. So anything they call you a phobe about, you should see the way they treat their own when they go against the grain, when they actually agree with, everyone else, or where they agree the opposite of what is going on in the woke movement, which it changes and pronouns and everything changes so much. It's just become like, where is it and where are we now? What is the pronoun now? What is the, it just switches that often, and it's becoming to where it's becoming a little bit toxic. Not a little bit, a lot toxic. I mean, like with Dave Chappelle, jokes are jokes. And, he did his little, thing. And in what universe can you just go storming in on top executives and demand, what I'm saying, crash a meeting? You know what I mean? That just makes no sense. No matter what your gripe is, that doesn't give you the right to do that. And then turn around and say that you were discriminated against. I'm totally against discrimination. Totally against it. I think, trans rights, 100% fine. I mean, it's a free country. You go be what you want to be. You do that. But let me be what I want to be and don't get upset about it. I don't say cisgender male
because I'm a male.
I'm not a subgroup of a group that I already am. Let's just take it from there. Let's get into this video. But what do you think? Do you think it's okay to be deceived? Do you think it's okay to be deceived that there is a man that transitions into a woman, now feels themselves to be a woman? Doesn't mean that that's reality. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they transition, but think about how you're going to find out that she's actually
a male.
And that's not fair, because in that right there is you are taking away their freedom to decide. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is your right not to say you are that. I mean, that is your right. You can do that. I just feel like it's morally wrong. And I'm not saying that you have to ever say it. That's on you. That's on you. But there are men that will go like, that's all I'm saying. And then it will be considered a hate crime, even though they were married, and it comes to find out that she lied to him. But, it'll still be this big outcry of phobia, even though they were married for all these years. And they, oh, well, that must be a phobe. Well, no, it's not that they're a phobe. They don't roll like that. Let's go. Let's get into this. Because this gentleman, he makes a lot of great points, and he says it perfectly. All right, let's go.
To another episode of Marmar walking on thin ice yet again, because he's going to talk about something controversial and his account might get suspended or banned just because of it, even though he did nothing wrong. Also, I want to clarify that I'm criticizing based on what she said just now and not because she's transgender. So I don't want to see this whole people saying, oh, you just don't like her because she's trans. No, it's like I don't like her because of what she said. Also, to the trans community, you want to be treated as everyone else? You want to be treated the same way? Great, I will gladly do that for you, and I will also hold you accountable just as the same way I would do to any other person based on what they say. Now that I stated that, let's get into this. I just showered, I'm warm, I'm tired, and I want to go to bed. Also, this is my opinion. My opinion. This is a very dangerous way of thinking, and it's also a little bit self-centered, don't you think? Now here's the thing, just because you're transgender doesn't mean you can start ignoring things like you're better than everyone else and like, ooh, I'm gonna start ignoring things simply because it's easier for me and it's what I want. For example, sexual preference and consent. I don't know why those two things need to be ignored now. Newsflash to the world, not everyone wants to date a transgender individual. That doesn't mean that they're transphobic, it simply means that they have their own sexual preference and that they could be attracted to cisgendered individuals. You wouldn't call a straight guy homophobic because he doesn't want to sleep with a man, now would you? Now when it comes to consent, someone's consent can dramatically change after they find out that they've been dating or they slept with a transgender person. Why, one may ask? Because it's not their sexual preference. Listen, I know transgender people face certain struggles in this world and they get judged and hated on based on who they are, and that is something that I will never experience. But their solution to that cannot be this because it's like I said, it's going to create more problems. I want everyone to be happy, but we need to start thinking more than just about ourselves.
There's gonna be shit you're gonna jump you're gonna experience. Sorry, it's part of life. Life is about going through shit. And it's truth. You are going. I mean, it's life is really a bunch of moments, and the great ones we capture and we hold on to. But think about it. Think back. There's really not a lot of big great moments because life isn't all about happiness. Most of it is struggle. Most of life is struggling and finding out, and failing. It is. You're gonna have more pain in life than you are gonna have happiness, and that's how it is, and that's for everybody. It does whatever it may be. That's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Some could be financial. Some could be, you know what I'm saying? It could just be, mental state. It can be just a lot of things, man. It just can be a lot of things, and nobody's no. Listen, everybody deserves, like I just said before, everybody deserves the right to be able to be themselves fully without discrimination. That I agree with. It's just a problem when you call everything that you're going to be told no. You are. So if you're met with some type of a no, you can't call it discrimination. Like, you know what I mean? There's going to be ideas that you're going to have and things that you're going to want that people are going to say, no, sorry, no, no, we can't do that. And then you to turn around and then make a big ruckus and say, I want you canceled, and I want you fired, and I want you, I want to end you. So that's the end of that. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. I've spoke long enough on this situation. Like I said, I personally think that, it's and it's here's the thing, it's not just the trans community and all that. It's just this woke thing. It's no matter what it is, they're quick to say something. You know what I mean? It was racial. It was along racial lines. It's along racial lines as well. They do the same thing. I don't need no one to speak for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been through it. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys haven't experienced what I've experienced and won't experience it. And I'm good with it. And if that's past me now. I don't, I mean, I don't hold every person responsible for what was years ago. You get what I'm saying? Like that's done. That's not the world I live in now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I don't want the world we're gonna live in is fairy tale. We can't live in fairy tale land. We cannot live in these fairy tales where we completely disregard reality. I mean, reality is just completely poof. Anyways, tell me what y'all think. Put it in the comments. Thanks for watching, Grouped. I appreciate it. All right, so remember, peace, love, and positivity. And just because we disagree does not mean that there's not a lot of things that we actually do have in common, man. We probably have more in common than you think. You know what I'm saying? Like the same books, like the same music. There's just going to be things we're going to disagree on. Even with people that you think that are, I mean, come on, twins, biological twins that are identical, disagree on a lot of things too. You know what I'm saying? And they're made up of the same DNA, and you would think they would be the same. Exactly. But, it's just the exterior. So, that being said, peace. Deuce. I'm gone.